Hey, what's going on YouTube? Thanks for joining us. This is Dan and Bryn Start a Gym. This is going to be one of our videos today. We're going to send out another one, the macaroni and cheese. My friend Barry and Beth calls it macaroni or macaphony and cheese, not macaroni and cheese, which I think is really exciting. We're going to be posting that video later today. First, I wanted to go over weightlifting belts and how to use them, what they are. A lot of people think that a weightlifting belt is to help support your back, and while that sounds accurate, it is absolutely wrong. It's not wrong a little bit, but it's completely wrong. The weightlifting belt is to help support your core. It's to give your core something to press against. When you actually wear the belt, when you've got it around your waist, your job is to try and break the clasp with your core. You push out with your stomach to a degree. There's a technique that you can use to do that. It's not just drive your belly out and make it all as fat as you can, but it's technically to sort of flex your core. You want the belt tight enough on that before you start your lift, you find it a little bit uncomfortable. It's hard to breathe with for the most part. I tend to use a lever belt, which is this one right here. Some people use buckled belts. I personally like the lever belt because it's easy to get on and off when I am getting it that tight. This belt here is made by a friend of mine named Jeff Bement. He owns a company called Belts by Bement, or Jeff Custom Belts. If you're interested, just hit us up on Facebook or on YouTube, and we'll be glad to get you one. You'll notice the intricate pattern, the infinity knot on the back. He's not paying me to do this, by the way. This is just something out of my own accord. Now, we do want to talk about sets and reps today. A lot of people end up going, how many sets and reps should I do? It's an interesting question with lots and lots of answers. If you scour the internet, you'll end up finding lots of different things, from you should do anywhere between 3 to 5 reps as heavy as you can, 8 to 12 reps doing moderate load, as many as some people would say lightweight and lots of repetitions, which is a problem in and of itself. The idea is the problem. The language that we use is the problem, not the actual execution of that. And so we'll go over the lightweight, lots of repetition conversation later, but today we want to talk about sets and reps. If you're just starting to exercise and you're a little concerned, confused, and you don't know how many sets and reps to do, it's really, really simple. Pick an exercise that I would call one of your core exercises. You should have 5 of them. We'll go over those core exercises perhaps tomorrow. But today we're going to go over how to pick how many sets and reps you should do. You should pick a weight and do as many reps as you can with that particular weight, so long as your form is good. As long as your form is good, you should always do as many reps as you can if your goal is fat loss, to build muscle, or to get stronger. So for example, if I picked a really heavy weight, I might only do 3 to 5 reps. Why? Because the weight's really, really heavy and I can't do more than 3 to 5. I stopped somewhere in there. Let's say I stopped at rep number 4 and somebody goes, why did you stop at 4? And I go, because I wasn't gonna be physically possible. It wasn't gonna be physically possible for me to actually lift the 5th one up without my form or technique being compromised. So you want to think about exercise, like I said yesterday, in a way that's more conducive to an athletic sport of some sort, or playing the piano. I want to learn the basics and get really, really good at those first. If you pick a lighter weight and you go, man, I've knocked out 12. I'm, yes, a little cardiovascularly winded, but I could still keep going upwards in my rep scheme. There's no magic in the number of reps that you do, and that's important that you realize, okay? You should always end up doing as many reps as you can with whatever weight you've selected. Again, making sure that our form is correct in those things. If we end up doing less reps with more weight, we are getting stronger, okay? And that's very specific. You're gonna still be building some muscle, maybe not as much as if you were doing a hypertrophy one, which we'll talk about later. But you will be significantly activating your central nervous system, getting a lot stronger in general. You won't necessarily put on very much size and muscle mass in that form. Now, if you end up stopping somewhere between a moderate range, 8 to 12, somewhere in there, you're doing a little hypertrophy training, you'll be still getting stronger, as you will still be putting on muscle in the lighter or in the heavier ranges, but you're not going to be getting as strong. However, you will have the opportunity to build as much muscle as possible in those rep ranges, simply from the hypertrophy effect that comes from there. And that can sometimes go all the way up into 20 or 25 reps if you're a novice lifter. If you're a relatively seasoned lifter and you've been doing it for a long time, the 8 to 12 rep range seems to be the best for muscular development. But a novice lifter will see a lot of gains in the 12 to 20 rep range in the first 6 months to a year of lifting. Now, ironically, some people are still novice lifters and they've been doing it for a long time. That's because they've been doing it poorly. But we'll go into that later. The question you need to ask yourself as far as how many sets and reps should you do, you have to ask yourself, how many reps of this exercise is it going to take for me to get the goal that it is I want? Now, I tend to change my outcome or my thought process on the goal. So for example, my thought wasn't ever to lose body fat or weight. Somebody's calling us on the phone. My goal wasn't ever to lose body fat or weight, and that's why I want to go up in my deadlifts. My goal was to improve my deadlifts, and by getting better at my deadlifts, I ended up losing body fat and gaining a lot of muscle. So thanks again for watching. This is Dan and Bryn Started Gym. Please subscribe. Give us a thumbs up if you thought this was a good video.